everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Amadai TV presents More Than Meets the Third Eye. Okay, so as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, so I have a lovely PowerPoint prepared for you all. We're going to be talking about the spiritual mind. Okay, this is going to be brief. So thank you all for tuning into the chats. Dark Skin Brother, Queen Conscious, Eric, LeVar, Cherokee Descended King, Silent D. Okay, let's get into it, Millie. Ayon. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hello, Beatzilla, Brother Sly. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so we can get into it. Everyone get those likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay, the spiritual mind. Let's talk about it, people. Now, the mind has two aspects of qualities, and this is just my opinion. Spiritual and intellectual. We're all familiar with the intellectual mind. It is responsible for processes like reasoning, judgment, analysis, calculation, ego, desire, and other mundane faculties. Now, I envision the spiritual mind engaging in activities such as creativity, intuition, and psychic abilities. The two aspects of the mind likely operate on different planes of consciousness. You have the intellectual mind, known as the I am, focuses on the physical world, while the spiritual mind, the SM, searches for meaning and communion with God. Now, worldly knowledge is acquired by the intellectual mind through study and investigation of measurable quantities. Spiritual knowledge, however, can be obtained to some extent by study also. However, oftentimes, the most profound spiritual knowledge comes to us without active searching or any effort on our part except having an open mind and a desire to come closer to God. So with that all being said, the spiritual mind, you don't have to just go out here and study for it. You can, study to learn more things about spirituality, about your cultural spirituality and your ancestors and things like that, different practices and rituals that you may want to engage in. But spiritual things come to you when you are a spiritual person, a high vibrating person. You start to realize spiritual gifts that you may not have ever known that you have. See, I know that I am prophetic. I have dreams that come true. I see visions. I have intuition and premonitions and things like that. I always have been like that since a child. Now, I believe that everyone has spiritual gifts. I think that some people don't use their spiritual gifts because they don't know that they even have them. They may not believe in it, so they lie dormant. At some point when the third eye is activated, the pineal gland, the optic thalamus, at this point, the person usually realizes that they have spiritual gifts that they never tapped into before. Now, sometimes spiritual knowledge defies logic and ordinary understanding. It can come to us with an inexplicable certainty in its truth, while at the same time, we do not know, or we do not know how, hold on, I have a typo, people. Well, at the same time, we do not know how we have this knowledge that just comes to us, okay? In my haste, I made a typo. Let me correct that now before I forget later, because I use these PowerPoints when I do presentations, when I do my motivational speaking and things like that. So hold on just a moment. In the meantime, everyone, please get those likes up. Okay, thank you for your patience. Now, with that all being said, the two minds look at the world and existence quite differently. Now, the intellectual mind primarily sees the here and the now, while the spiritual mind senses there is much more to our existence. Dominance by the intellectual mind may lead one to deny or overlook their spiritual nature. It may also lead one to question the existence of God or a creator, as the intellectual mind favors or perhaps even requires some measurement of proof over intuition and faith. So, with that all being said, some people are atheists. They clearly don't believe in God or a higher power or a creator. I don't know how they think the world came to be. I don't know how they think all the wonders of the world came to exist, or even themselves. But some people nevertheless are atheists, and they don't believe in a higher power or a creator, which is unfortunate in my opinion. Because, it's like if you look at a painting, if you look at a beautiful painting, you see the marvelous artwork and the colors and how it's all laid out. And then that someone had to create this. It didn't just happen to exist. Someone had to create it. And so it's the same thing to me when you look at the world. When you see the beautiful trees, the flowers, the birds, the butterflies, humans, the grass, the food that grows, the sun in the sky, the moon at night. When you look at all of these marvelous wonders, how do you not know that there had to be someone or some being, something that created all of these things? That makes no sense to me. But nevertheless, this is what some people think. And they require a measurement of proof. They need to have something put right in front of them to prove that these things happened. Well, I'm going to tell you like this. The proof to me is that we get up every day and live and breathe fresh air, that the sun rises every morning and sets every evening, that the moon shines every night. That is evidence to me. Now, in contrast, the spiritual mind cares little about the material aspects of existence, favoring instead expression of itself through inspiration, creativity, psychic connection, and emotions such as love and compassion. So, spiritual people don't really get all caught up in material things, right? Spiritual people are more into things that you can do for free. The beautiful things that don't cost you anything except time. Like, sun gazing, right? Meditating, raising your vibrational frequency. That's what spiritual people concern themselves with, not material things. Thank you, Pearly Beloved, for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. Now, how do the two aspects of mind reconcile with one another? You see, the intellectual mind is essential in order for us to function in the material world. Now, the spiritual mind brings meaning to the activities of the intellectual mind. The spiritual qualities of mentality moderate and guide the intellectual mind toward applications of its faculties that will be spiritually fulfilling and serve the greater good. Now, I believe that a key element of our spiritual progression and evolution is for the spiritual mind to achieve dominance over the intellectual mind. Now, you may say, well, why would you think that, Queen? Rashana says, morning, Queen and Royals. I appreciate your knowledge, all that you do for us. Thank you. Well, thank you, beloved, for your kind words and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So, like I was saying, I believe the key element of our spiritual progression and evolution is for the spiritual mind to achieve dominance over the intellectual mind. Now, if you're wondering why I would think that, well, it's because the intellectual mind sometimes overthinks itself. Sometimes we overthink things. People put facts and truth in front of us, and we sit there and want to pick it apart, and just don't believe things could be the way they seem. Some people don't believe in spiritual gifts. Some people don't believe in spirit guides. Some people don't believe in demons. And devils. Some people just don't believe in these things because with some of us, the intellectual mind won't allow you to think outside of the box. Okay? Won't allow you to see things out of the spectrum of thought that you're trapped in, right? So with that all being said, when your spiritual mind is dominant, you're more receptive to understanding the powerful creation or the powerful energy that comes from the creator. You're more likely to be in tune with the universe and with nature and to have a spiritual connection to the Most High or whomever you call your God, right? If your spiritual mind takes over. Now, with that all being said, people who are more spiritual, they're open to other things, different types of thought, different spiritual gifts will come to them. They're more able and easier for them to open their third eye, to activate the pineal gland, to raise the kundalini energy. When you're in your spiritual self, you can reach higher heights, broaden your horizons. You can manifest things. You understand the laws of the universe, the laws of attraction, and you know how to discern things. You're very intuitive. You're open to suggestions, and you're also open to evolving. People who just use their intellectual mind and really have no spirituality, are not into spiritual practices, those people seldom accept change. They seldom accept things that sound far-fetched. It is often said that truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. But when you're just thinking with the intellectual mind and not using your spiritual mind, you may not realize that. Some things sound crazy to you. If someone says, oh, I saw the spirit of one of my ancestors, you'll think that's clearly crazy. They must be hallucinating. They couldn't have seen someone come back from the dead. You may be thinking those type of things. If someone says a person is possessed by a malevolent spirit, you may think that sounds absolutely far-fetched and crazy. There's no such things as demons, is what some intellectual minds will think, even though it's clearly in the Bible, right? So these are just a few of the things. Now, with that all being said, we need to treat the spiritual mind. We want to treat the spiritual mind so that we give it what it needs to grow and flourish and to evolve and to take us, to lead and guide us into our higher selves, our God-like selves, or our Christ-like selves, as some of you may say. So how do you treat the spiritual mind? Well, I'm glad you asked. The first step, we acknowledge that within the universe, there is one pervading presence. There is one force encompassing everything that is in existence, one energy from which all things are made of. Many people throughout the ages have called this source of all things God. The name is not important. What matters is that we recognize this truth and we understand and realize that there is, in fact, a creator, a higher power. Whatever you call this creator, this higher power, that's not what's important. What's important is that you acknowledge and know that this energy, this spirit, this creator exists. That's the first part of treating your spiritual mind. Now, the second step, having recognized the magnificence and the awesome power of the one presence that is absolutely everywhere within the universe, we realize that this same intelligence that created everything does not stop being where we are. Therefore, it is within us. It is the substance that life is made of. In this step, we become aware of who we really are. A divine being made of the God's energy and having a human experience. Psalms 82:6. Ye are all gods, for ye are born of the Most High. Step 3. We name our desires with the feeling that as we do this, it is already ours. We're moving away from the feeling of wanting to feeling of having already received. Now, this is what I tell people when they're trying to manifest things. When you're manifesting things and focusing your energy to make something come to fruition, you don't want to say, let me give you an example. You don't want to say, I want a better job. I want to make more money. I want a new car. I want a significant other. You don't want to say that, because when you want something, that's putting it out there to the universe that you don't have it. So do you need it? Is it something that you want or you don't want? The universe can't decipher. So you have to be very specific when you're manifesting things. So rather than saying, I want a new job, I want to make more money, you say, I have a new job. I'm making more money, right? I have a significant other. I am reaching higher heights. You speak things that were not as though they were. And by the way, that's a quote from President Kennedy. Now, step 4. We summon from within ourselves a feeling of gratitude. Of course, the source of all that is does not need our gratitude to function. It is rather that an attitude of gratitude opens our consciousness to receiving even more good. This is what I always tell you. I say you don't have to pray to God to ask for things. You can simply pray to God to show your gratitude. Pray and thank the Most High that you got up this morning, that you are in your right frame of mind, that you're able to work and pay bills, that you're able to take care of yourself, that you have friends and family who love and care about you. Be thankful. Have an attitude of gratitude, and your blessings will flow more abundantly. However, if you are you're ungrateful, right? If you have no gratitude and dissatisfied about the things that are going on, and you put that out, then you will continue to have more of that. As the law of the universe is such that what we focus on is what we manifest in our experience. When we are focused on the good that we already have, then we can only attract more good. But if you talk about lack and the bad things and negativity, well, you'll have more of that. Now, the 5th and final step for treating the spiritual mind. Once we have accomplished the 4 steps, all we then need to do is trust. We release it to the wisdom and the love of the universe. The Creator does not require our input or on how our desire is manifesting itself for us. You don't need to worry about how your desires manifest, just that they do. Okay, let me read a few of these comments. Terry says, yes, I acknowledge the Most High throughout the day and night. Beautiful, beloved. Vernell says, I think I have these demons, so how I get rid of them? Well, the first thing you should do, beloved, is probably go see a Catholic priest. Okay, that's what I would suggest. I mean, many people have demons. Some demons more nefarious than others, right? Some of them have vices that they consider to be their demons, like someone who is an alcoholic, or someone who's a drug addict. Those are demons. You say, oh, every day I'm fighting my demons. Now, but if you're talking about a demon to the point where a demon is controlling you, you're speaking in different languages that you never studied, speaking in different voices that you never heard. If you hear things inside of your head telling you to do nefarious things, well, in that case, I would urge you to start burning sage, saying positive affirmations, and calling someone at the church. Okay, because maybe you need an exorcism. I don't know the extent of your illness or whatever, but if that's what you're experiencing, please get help somewhere. Okay, because demons come to destroy. They're very destructive. They come to create pandemonium, all types of chaos. They drive people to suicide. They put crazy thoughts in your head. They make people do foolish things that get them landed in prison for years. These are what demons do. Nothing good ever comes from them. So if you have them or you think you do, I advise you to get help post haste. Okay? Payson T says, yes, speaking it into existence. Absolutely, beloved. Queen Conscious says, I know that I have at least 3 spirit guides, 1 woman and 2 men. That's wonderful. Okay? People need to go to a spiritual healer that can help with those things. Absolutely, Kimoni. Now, with that all being said, LeVar says, well, I haven't picked anyone I believe in. Okay, that's fine. Take your time, beloved. Cherokee Descendant King says, I'm always thinking the Most High thank the Most High every morning. Absolutely. Deeper Truth says, I believe in the power of the ancestors. And yes, we absolutely should. So with that all being said, I hope you all got something out of this. These are just some things you need to do for your spiritual mind, and make sure that you are nourishing and strengthening the spiritual mind. And I told you, there's exercises you can do to build mental health and strength. You can do crossword puzzles, things that require you to think. See, some of us have gotten lazy. We have gotten lazy in our thinking and in using our brain, because we have all this technology now that does all these things for us. Like now, you don't even have to remember phone numbers. All you do is put the person's number, save it in your phone, and then you just go to their name and dial it. But what do you do when you lose that phone, or you can't get to the phone, or the phone dies and you have an emergency call to make? Do people think about these things? Most of us don't. But these things are dumbing us down, right? When you can't even remember simple phone numbers, really, think about that. Something so simple. It's almost like diminished capacity. Like really, people are dumbing themselves down, just dumber and dumber and dumber, right? So, the thing is to always be working your brain, using your mind, right? You can use your mind for things all day long and use it for positive things. Don't just sit there and pander and focus on negative things or whatever. Figure out how to make things better for yourself, how to improve your life, how to help someone else with their issues. Do something constructive and productive, right? That's the best thing to do. And so always make sure that you're fine-tuning your spiritual mind. And you should be doing that by meditating daily, as I told you. Meditate daily, night or day. Positive affirmations, right? Doing something kind for yourself, not just other people, but something for yourself. So reward yourself when you reach your goal. Write down your goals for the next few months or for the next couple of years. And as you achieve and reach each goal, give yourself some type of reward. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. Just give yourself some acknowledgement that you have reached your goal and that you are making progress and that you are in fact evolving and changing, metamorphosizing into the person that you want to be. Okay? And don't forget, when you are manifesting things and speaking things into existence, be thorough, be specific. Okay? For example, don't just say, I want a husband, and then keep manifesting that you want a husband. Because that husband you manifest, or that wife for the men, that person that you manifest could be nefarious. Because did you say what kind of husband you wanted? Or did you just say you wanted a husband? And don't say I want a husband. Say I have a husband, or I have a wife who loves me unconditionally, who treats me kind, and I treat them the same. Say those type of things. Because when you get into talking about, oh, I want a wife, oh, I want a husband, you can get a crackhead for a husband or a wife. I'm just saying. So make sure you're specific, because the universe only goes by what you put out. All right. So with that all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Enjoy the rest of this day. And I hope to see you all in the next chats at 6 p.m. for your daily vitamins. Until next time, Royal Family, I'll talk to you all again soon.